What's going on, YouTube? It's that comic guy Chris, and guess what? I've got my box here with me today. We're going to check out and see if I picked up every comic I said I would in 2017. Now, I gave 10 books that I absolutely wanted to get, and inside this box is all the comics I picked up throughout the year. So let's check this out. Alright, let's get this rolling. Book number 2 on my list was New Mutants Annual number 2. That's the first appearance of Psylocke, or let's say first U.S. appearance of Psylocke, because she actually appeared in Captain Britain. She can only get that over in England, so I don't have the funds for that book, so we done this one, because Psylocke's a pretty cool character. Let's see. Did I get it? Did I get it? Oh, I did. I scored it. I actually got this right near the end of the year. Somewhere around, I believe actually at the end of October, beginning of November. So, lucky I got it, picked it up. I actually paid a pretty good price for it. Guy was asking 30 on it. I offered him 20, he took it. That's in really great shape. So, like I said, glad to pick that up. If you guys remember, back in 2017, I said I absolutely want to get Tales of the Teen Titans number 44. This is the first appearance of Nightwing, one of my favorite characters out there right now. And I said I absolutely wanted it because the whole time I was growing up in the 90s, Robin had always been somebody other than Dick Grayson. So I knew who Nightwing was, and I absolutely wanted to make sure I got that one. Let's see, did I get it? Why, yes, I did. Picked this up at an awesome event called Swap Timber. It's just a giant comic book swap meet where everybody was selling stuff. Lots of vendors and lots of people just walking around trading, that kind of stuff. So it's pretty awesome. Can't remember what I paid for it, but I know I negotiated down on it. Actually bundled it with a couple other comics I wanted, so picked that up. Number 8 on my list was Uncanny X-Men 129, the first appearance of Kitty Pryde. One of my favorite X-Men, who's currently the leader of the Go Team right now, which is awesome, by the way. I'll be doing more videos on X-Men books, so look forward to that in the future. But let's check and see if I got that one. Turns out I didn't get that one. I missed it. I don't know why. It just never came up, or the price wasn't good enough, so we didn't pick it up. Now for my number 7, I told you guys about the Pressman variants. These are comics that were their second prints, but they have this distinctive gold cover, except for X-Men number 11, it has a silver cover to it. And but anyway, they're kind of pricey. They range from fairly cheap, which is $10, all the way up to normally $100 plus for the most expensive one. I can't remember the number right off the top of my head, but it's the end of the Executioner song. I actually seen a copy of it go off 9.8 condition, graded, over $1,000, so way out of my price range. But I said I would be happy if I could pick up any of them. So let's see if we got one, and looks like we did. We got good old Uncanny X-Men 303, and if you've never read this story, you need to go read this story. I mean, it even tells you right here, if you only read one X-Tile this month, make sure it's this one. This is a really good story. It's the death of Illyana, and it's real emotional. It's actually the turning point of not Cyclops, but Colossus, when he becomes an acolyte for Magneto. So, but really happy to pick one of these up. I had an opportunity at the other Uncanny X-Men book, but it was also out of my price range, so I didn't try to get it. But very happy to pick this one up. I actually got it fairly early in the year, so awesome. This year was Harbinger. I needed 2 books to complete it, and one of them was Harbinger Zero, the pink copy. I have the blue one, which is the one that came with the trade paperback, but I wanted the pink mail-away copy. It's harder to find, and it's getting more and more expensive every day. Unfortunately, it is not in my short box. I seen it A guy wanted $100 for it, and I thought that was way overpriced. And then I kind of got searching around. It looks like this particular comic is starting to move up, so I hope to find it for less than 50, but I never did see it for less than 100 in the cons that I went to, and I didn't actively seek it out on eBay or anything like that, so sadly I missed out on that one. Alright, number 5 on my list was New Mutants 87. That's the first appearance of Cable. And if you guys know, Cable's going to be in the new Deadpool movie that's coming out in a few months, which is making the price of that comic rise drastically. So I wanted to make sure I got this one in my collection because I want to complete all that stuff anyway. It's not really a book that I want to speculate on or anything like that, but I also don't want to pay hundreds of extra dollars for it when I could get it a little bit cheaper now. So, as luck would have it, I did get that one. Check that out. Nice copy of 87, first appearance of Cable, first appearance of Strife 2, which is a clone of Cable. And then, you know, all the confusing things in the X universe anyway. But absolutely glad to get this in my collection. I think I paid $70 for this at a convention. The guy had it. We worked out a deal on it, bundled it with some other things. So that's a tactic you can use. Make sure you bundle. If you're going to buy a bunch of comics and you need a more expensive one, bundle a whole bunch together. You'll get a really good deal on stuff. For the most part, some guys won't bargain with you, but for the most part, everybody will. And like I said, glad to get this one in. It'll be interesting to see after the movie comes out what this actually peaks at. Right now it's in the $100 range, so let's see where it goes. Alright, number 4 on my list is Uncanny X-Men 141, Days of Future Past. It was a comic that I really liked. It's an iconic X-Men cover, or a comic. It's only 2 issues to be so popular. But it's really cool. It has one of the most iconic covers ever, and I said I absolutely want to pick up that this year because I have 142. Like I mentioned in the original 2017 Most Wanted video, it normally comes a package deal. It usually comes with its counterpart. So I was able to pick that up, and I actually got that from a good friend named Jason Pizzino, who's helping me out. I'm looking for Spider-Man books for him. He's keeping an eye out for some X-Men comics for me. So check that out. 141 and 142. And I was glad to get the 142 because I have 2 copies of it, but neither one of them are in really great shape. And both of these comics appear to be between, I would say, probably an 8.5 to 9.0, somewhere in that range. So really glad to get those. And like I said, this is just a great cover. It's been spoofed so many times. It's been on so many covers, so always glad to have that one in the collection. So if I ever meet Chris Claremont, guess what you're going to sign for me, buddy? Alright, now we're down to the top 3. 3 books I absolutely wanted to get. And sitting at number 3 is the iconic, the ever popular, one of the best comics ever written, 101, the start of the Phoenix Saga. I kind of looked for decent prices for it throughout the year. Didn't really find anything that was in my range at the time or that I could afford to buy it plus bundle it with something else. So I ended up asking my wife for it for Christmas, and she looked around, and her and another friend of mine, Jason Pizzino, who I mentioned about helping me with the Days of Future Past, they looked around and they found a really good deal on something that wasn't X-Men 101. And I'm going to show that off here because I didn't get 101, but I think I got a much better deal considering that there's a movie coming out. My wife picked out the entire Dark Phoenix Saga for me, which is great because there's a movie coming out. And again, like I said before, I'm not really into this for speculating or anything, but I don't want to have to pay exuberant amount of money for stuff when I could have got it a little bit cheaper before the hype all set in. So I really appreciate that. I love my wife Melinda, and she takes care of me, and it's things like this, little things like this that mean so much to me, and I really appreciate that. Alright, number 2 on the list. this one was a biggie that I wanted. Avengers Annual number 10. I've said many times before, and anybody knows me, I absolutely hate the cover to this. This is the first appearance of Rogue. It needs a really cool cover, but it just doesn't have a great cover at all. And unfortunately, I did not buy a copy of it. I had several chances to, but I actually, ended up spending the money on something else at the time. And sometimes that's just the way it goes. You find better deals on something else and you don't want to pass it up. This coming year, I'm going to be a little more focused on some things, but for 2017, I let this one slip away, and hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me. Alright, my number one book for 2017 was one of the two books I needed to finish my collection, and that was Harbinger number 1. Actually, it completes the run if I get number 1. The pink just completes everything together. Like I said, I have the blue copy, but I really wanted to get Harbinger number 1. It's also a book that has a movie coming out, and it probably will go up really high because it has a low print count. Plus, the mail away thing also ensures that the majority of the books don't have the coupons in them anymore. So there's a significantly less amount that are complete. So I had to look around. I actually went to Lexington Toy and Comic Book Convention. It was in March. I asked every single vendor. Only one vendor had a copy. So I picked it up, and unfortunately, it was missing the coupon, which he disclosed that when I bought it, but I really wanted this in my collection. I did not think the coupon would make that big of a difference to me. After a while, it kind of bothered me a little bit that it didn't have the coupon, and I decided that I would buy one, put the coupon in it, and grade it. And I actually got this at a really good price. It was just a fuzz under $100. So I was excited to pick it up because it's got the coupon in it. Has a pretty nice grade. I don't want to pay anything crazy for like a 9.8. Honestly, it was the coupon that made the difference. I actually looked at one that was an 8.5. And this one popped up at the same time and it was cheaper, so I just bought it. So I got this. But then, as luck would have it, I was looking through some stuff trying to find just a good deal, and for some reason this book was going off super cheap too. I ended up snagging this for less than $50 off eBay. It's signed by David Lapham, and it has the coupon in it. So in 1 year, my number one book, I ended up getting 3 copies of it. And I know it's probably a little greedy, I guess, but I could not pass this up for $50. And at some point I'm going to meet Jim Shooter and I'm going to get him to sign it as well. So that'll be good that I've got one there. And then I've got friends who collect this series as well. So at some point, if they don't mind having a copy without the coupon, I'll trade this one to them fairly cheap. So it's always that. Another cool thing I picked up, since we're on Harbinger, I ended up getting this sealed for $3. It's the trade paperback that came out that has issues 1 through 4 in it. And then this was the only other way than the mail-in to get the Zero issue. So that's the blue Zero issue. So now I've got 2 copies of it, a loose one, and then I've got this one, and this one's still sealed. So pretty awesome. Alright guys, that's going to wrap me up for 2017. We had some wins, we had some losses. I think 6 books out of 10 is pretty good. But anyway, it's what we can do, and we did what we can, so we can't go back in time and change it. So all we can do is keep going forward and see what happens this year. The 2018 want list is going to come out probably next week sometime. I'm putting it together right now, making sure exactly what I want to get. But I do know this year, instead of just comic books, I'm going to add figures and video games and a couple other neat little collectibles to it. So they'll be there. Maybe I get all 10 of them this year. Maybe not. We'll see. But anyway, if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button down there, hitting the subscribe button over somewhere. And make sure to leave some comments below. Let me know what I'm doing right, what you guys want to see, what kind of direction you want this channel to go. Also, check out my Facebook page, That Comic Guy Chris, and also hit me up on Twitter at That Comic Guy CHR, because apparently we can't put the whole word Chris on there because we run out of letters. So, at That Comic Guy CHR. Follow me over there. Eventually I'll get an Instagram up. I'm not a huge Instagram guy, but apparently it's pretty important in the comic book and collectibles thing. So we'll give it a try. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching, and remember, keep on collecting.